Today I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on Devil May Cry 5, the fifth installment of the Devil May Cry series. This is an action-adventure hack-and-slash game developed by Capcom. This franchise is recognized as one of the best hack-and-slash game of all time.
I'm impressed!
The game has been released for 2 weeks now. To let you guys know beforehand, I am pretty new to the DMC world. When I first saw this, I thought I had to go to YouTube and watch the story of the previous DMC games. But to my surprise, it doesn't even matter. This game actually shows you the story so far leading to this point. So for those who are new like me, you don't have to play the previous games, like most other games do. The story in its simplest form is about a new demon
I am power.
summoning a giant grotesque tree-like structure, and it's up to our main three characters, Nero from DMC4,
What am I doing wasting my time here?
Dante the OG, and a new character V to stop it.
After all, it was he who took your right arm.
The story is pretty simple and easy to follow, which is typical of the DMC series. So for those who didn't like the previous game story, this one probably won't change your mind.
Guess there's no point thinking about it.
Even though it has a weak narrative, the game does make up with its excellent gameplay
Let's get airborne!
and its awesome, over-the-top cinematic action cutscenes. The game's greatest strength is the gameplay. DMC is not just all about killing demons, but how you kill them.
I envy your optimism.
You have an arsenal of skills to use, and you can be as creative as you want with your moves. This is the most satisfying part of the game. The stages, which are called missions in DMC, are very linear and has simple level designs like its predecessors. How this works is that when a fight begins, the area becomes locked and then swarms of enemies spawns and tries to kill you. Your job is to fight through the monsters and look cool while you're at it. This progress repeats, fighting different combinations of monsters till you reach the boss. But don't be mistaken though, even when you're repeating things over and over, it doesn't make the game boring, since you'll be using this opportunity to practice combos and skills learned from customization, stacking style points, and doing some sick moves. All of this is a warm-up towards the boss fight. The fights in its core are all about being awesome, stylish, and cool. In each area, whenever you fight the enemy, there will be a stylish rank on the right side of the screen, from D to SSS, which pretty much shows how awesome you are. The more creative you are with the combo, the more style points you get. Switching between different weapons during combos, minimal damage, and maybe a few taunts here and there all contributes to your style points. At the end of each mission, each rank you get in each area will be calculated and you will be given a final rank from D to S. If you're not getting S, you're probably doing something wrong. So the game is pretty much about you killing all these demons using over-the-top characters, do flashing moves, and look dope while at it. The game offers you 3 different characters to choose from. Each has their own unique style of fighting: Nero, V, and Dante. Nero's weapons includes a sword called Red Queen,
I'm bagging this bitch!
where you can charge up for higher damage. Blue Rose, a gun where he could also charge up, and a new mechanical arm called the Devil Breaker. There are multiple kinds of Devil Breakers, and each have their own unique uses, such as the Overture, an arm that do burst electric damage, Gerbera help you maneuver in the air, and Buster Arm lets you grab the enemy, and so on. There is no way to switch between breakers. You either have to detonate it or use a powerful move, which both results in destroying the breaker. This is what makes Nero unique to other playable characters. The game also encourages you to experiment with Nero's Devil Breaker, since you can't change the arm you currently equipped. It can also break if you get attacked by an enemy while using the breaker. V is a new and playable character to DMC. His playstyle is completely different compared to Nero. He can summon up to 3 pets, which helps him out in battles. He has a griffin, a bird which shoots out electric projectiles from a distance, Shadow, a panther that can shapeshift and act as V's melee attacks, and Nightmare, an invincible golem that you can summon with the expense of the DT gauge, or Devil Trigger. V himself prefers to keep his distance, but comes in to finish off the enemy since his pets can't kill demons. His playstyle is like a sniper or a mage type, which is a breath of fresh air in a DMC game. He's confusing to play at first, but is quite easy once you get used to it. He's also the easiest character to get triple S rank, in my opinion. Also, his taunts are the most edgy. And I like it. Then we have Dante. Just when you thought you learned the game and got the hang of both Nero and V, now you're back to basic again with an even harder character. He is the most enjoyable and satisfying to play out of all 3, but is also the hardest to master. He has full playstyle to switch from on the fly. We have Trickster for dodging, Swordmaster for more special attack unique to melee weapons, Gunslingers for special attack unique to his guns, and Royal Guard for blocking and countering enemy incoming attacks. He can use up to 4 guns and 4 melee weapons. It does take a lot of time to learn Dante, especially in harder difficulties, since it's vital to know when to switch into different playstyles during combos and situation. Aside from the addictive gameplay, most bosses, except one that I can think of, is challenging and tests your skills and knowledge of the characters. It has great cutscene,
You taking notes?
great in-game animations, and it looks very polished and natural. It has memorable casts,
If Dante loses, you're all that can defeat Urizen.
great choice of music, and got tons of replayability, and is a good game for challenge-hungry players. And I'm talking to you Dark Souls fans.
Come on.
It also has a great gallery which showcased all models used in-game, concept art, and lore. For them to take another step and showcase their work really shows how proud they are of this game. That being said, the game does have its flaws.
Guess I get to see it with my own eyes.
One of the minor problems it has is that it doesn't support multiple save files. Camera sometimes gets in the way during fights, which may screw up your combo. It usually happens in small spaces. The default target switch button is a bit hard to use, I barely even use them. But if you want, you can change the controls to your liking. Also, it might be hard for new players to get used to the mechanic since there is a high learning curve, especially Dante. One of the main complaints I have is that some cutscenes have poor lip sync animations,
Yo, ladies away. Got any questions for her? Better make it fast.
but sometimes on other cutscenes, it sinks in well perfectly.
Do you do parties?
It's a bit annoying since it's pretty obvious and does ruin the immersion quite a bit. In terms of story, it's very typical of the DMC game. It's not bad or anything, however it just lacks the impact to make it memorable. It also feels a little anticlimactic in the end, but most of these are just nitpicking stuff. DMC 5 is over the top through and through, from Nico's van coming in from unexpected places, to Dante imitating MJ's famous dance moves, Nero with his upward bomb, and V with his edgy poetry.
But act not breeds pestilence.
It has one of the best combat systems in games, has a variety of different difficulties to suit all players in every learning stage, and tons of replayability. This makes DMC one of the best pure action games currently in the market right now. So overall, I would give this an 8, but if I were to rate the gameplay alone, it would easily be a 9.
Jackpot.
The battle system is just well made, with fluid combos, flashy effects, and gives you an adrenaline rush whenever you start a combo. It's very satisfying to play, taking down one demon to another, and the creative approach to combo is endless. Overall, one of the great action games that came out in the past few years. And that's all for my thoughts on DMC5. I've still got demons to kill in other difficulties. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. RollOver out.
Alright. Time to kick some ass.